Hello and welcome to all you dear Aquarians out there. This is your monthly horoscope for October of 2022. A lot is happening. The eclipse is super important for you. There's also happening a Mercury direct, a Mars retro, a Jupiter retro, even in another sign. So lots to talk about. But if you are someone who's studying astrology or wanting to know more about astrology, you can check out the other videos I made recently that are about like the Mercury retrograde, the Mars retrograde. So there's a whole bunch of information there that you can look up. And next week I'm going to do a new video about the eclipse in itself. But if you are here now to say, look Veerle, I want to know the overview of October, you're looking at the right video. It gives a bit of an overview here. And the month starts off with epiphanies and understandings and clarity. And we all like that, no matter what sign you are. And for you, dear Aquarians, this is happening in the house where Virgo is, because there Mercury goes direct around and about the 2nd and the 3rd of October. So it's in your 8th house. I talked about that. It's a very deep house, a transformational house. When you have clarity there, wow, that prompts you into many changes. Of course, you can do whatever you want to do with that knowledge, but it goes in very well with the end of the month when Mars and Jupiter go backwards. So the way we act, which is Mars, the way we view things, the hope that we have in life, which is Jupiter, is going to be revisited there. But as I said, having epiphanies in that house, in that very transformative house, is key here for the rest of the month. So you're going to have some clues here. How to, for instance, battle psychological fears, deep fears that you're having. How you are tackling your taxes, your investments, your inheritances, communications around that are becoming all very clear for you when those topics are in front of your mind, you could say, and they seem to go forwards now, where the clarity comes. And also around the 11th of October, Mercury in your 9th house in Libra also suggests a lot of clarity when it comes to your mental insight that you have in the bigger picture of your life, which is so wonderful to have, because if you do so, you can make changes. You can make changes in the way that you do things. And that's applicable for all of us, because at the end of the month, Mars goes retrograde in Gemini, the last day of October, it's 31st of October. And that reassessment time of Mars going retrograde up until the midst of January, for you is in the 5th house. So I already talked about that this Mars retrograde is quite well for you because it's in a fellow air sign. This does suggest a revisiting of your heart, so to speak, because the 5th house is your heart chakra. It's about the things that you do, that you love. So you could be going back towards doing things that you love to do in the past, whether that is a hobby, whether that is a project, and you have a lot of reassessment time. Could also be a love story here going on with the Mars retrograde in your 5th house, and that could be a very exciting sexual kind of connection here that you have with someone. And but also mentally very wicked person, because it's in Gemini after all. And you could be revisiting, reassessing how you do relationships. What is important for you when it comes to love? What do you need? And what do you want to exude? And that kind of stuff. Also, it could mean, if you have children, that they are doing something differently in their life, and that has a knock-on effect for you. So that could be really interesting in helping them how to assert themselves in a very positive way. And but yes, as I said, it's projects, it's maybe you're thinking about your own business as well. Then this is how you are going to prepare for doing so. And when Mars goes direct at the midst of January, off you go. Jupiter also goes backwards in your second house again in Virgo. So it shifts from Aries to Virgo. And that stays there up until like the 21st of December. So that is a little couple, a pocket of time where you have time to expand your finances, to grow your finances, but also your self-worth. And that's a beautiful thing. So you could unfinished business that were happening around the timing of May of this year. Go back and what was unfinished business that relates to my self-worth, that relates to my finances, that I can redo in order for me to expand that area. So growth in your confidence, for sure. You've got time here to explore that a little bit more. Last but not least, the eclipse. So on the 25th, so that Jupiter retrograde was on the 29th of October at the very end. The 25th of October, but you feel it already the whole of October, there is this solar eclipse. That is with the Sun and the Moon together and Venus together, all at 2 degrees. 2 degrees of Scorpio together with the South Node. And that is for you the highest point of your horoscope. So what is this all about? Now, this is belonging to the Saros Cycle 6 South, but I'll make a separate video to explain that a little bit more next week. But this is all about the energy. It's like a double whammy because it's the South Node is about letting go and karmic cycles. Scorpio is about letting go and transformation. So it's a double whammy when it comes to your public life. So there's something ending here in your 10th house. Again, this could mean a shift in work, so that you end a job and that you start a new one. This could mean an old way of doing work that you're ending, so that you can start a new way of doing work, and a healthier way. Because Scorpio is about toxic energy, it's about releasing that, so that you can become more authentic, become more real. For others, it's a connection with a parent. So there could be happening something in the life of a parent that is also major transformative and that has a knock-on effect on you. Or it could be your public life. You know, your social status is shifting. It's like from being single to being married, for instance. Or from being a person with no children to a person with children. So there is a shift there happening and in your public life, so to speak, and it's for the better. And again, if you have Aquarian planets between 0 and 5 degrees, you will feel it the most. There is some this is not something that you don't know about. You know, a lot of Aquarians, they need to let go of an old way how they do things with their work. I see that a lot in with my clients, and but it's something, you know, Scorpio, we kind of and don't forget, Aquarius is a fixed sign. Don't forget that Aquarius, they keep on holding on to things quite often as well, specifically when you have a rising sign and a moon there in Aquarius. Having said that, I wish you all the best with this month. Have a very lively month and see you next month. Bye-bye.